Hi, my name is Wim Lievens, and in this video I will present you my new Whale Bars 2.0. As always, the disclaimer, please read it carefully, and should you have any questions, feel free to contact me over my website mytradeclass.com. Now, these whale bars have been around for about 8 years. I developed them in 2017, and they combine range bars, renko bars, and heikin-ashi candles, and therefore combine precision, volatility, and trends. Basically, it means that they combine the benefits of these three candles, but avoid, by the combination, the inconveniences that these bars or candles might have. Now, whale bars are built on movement, not on time. So, I'm sure range bars or heikin-ashi bars will have the same principle. So when you have big moves, you have many candles, and when you have very little movement, there are few candles, which is exactly what I want, since I want to avoid these dead zones. We all know that it's very, very difficult to trade or to make money in these areas. So the other thing is that since you can quantify your risk, every bar has the same size, so you know how much money you're risking. This is a lot more difficult with classic candles, because some are bigger than others. So the risk, either you have to set it money-wise, but then technically it's not correct, or you have to use the other side of the candle, the down or the upside of the candle, but then sometimes the risk might be too big. So I think these whale bars permit or give you the possibility to manage that risk a lot better. Also, entry points are a lot more precise. You normally do not have to wait until the end of the candle. Here you will have entry points which are a lot more precise. Now, some of the issues traders struggle with is trading against, or even when there is no trend, and enter close to support and resistance zones, the fear of missing out issue. There's the late entry. I've talked about this for many years now. I strongly believe that, especially in recognizing trends or the absence of trends, is something that you will easily or better see with whale bars. They're visually very clear. So for many traders, it makes the absence of trends, which is the issue, easier to recognize, and therefore also helping with the FOMO issue. The late entries also are helped because you are trading in entering the market purely on price movement and not on indicators, which sometimes, have some delay. Now, it all fits in with my trading philosophy, which basically is that it's all about price movement, and of course these volume levels are very important as well, but price movement has been, I will say, what I've been trading for the last 20 years. Now, I created my first course in English a few years ago, basically on price movement, and you can find it on my website, where I explain that there's basically just 5 strategies, 5 movements, and not 50,000, so people get confused. Now, of course, within these movements, within these strategies, I use whale bars. And also there, I've created a course compiling all the material that had been created since 2017 into over 20 strategies. Now you can use these strategies by itself, or you can combine, of course, these WL bars, integrate them into your strategies. Now, here another slide, which probably you have seen already on my YouTube channel. For your information, there are many videos available on YouTube, and you will see me trade with WL bars all the time. So you can trade with time, volume, or movement. WL bars is trading with movement, and here again you have some examples: time, volume, range, renko, heikin-ashi, and again, WL bars is the combination of the last three. And when you combine this, you get this. This is the combination, yes. Now, again, the advantages, the combination of these three, and I really believe that sometimes range bar are not very clear. They give you every tick, but when movements or trends are not very clear, it can get very messy. Renko is wonderful from a visual point of view and also from a structure point of view, but there's a lot of data missing. And heikin-ashi are wonderful because many people like them because they show these moves and trends very clearly. The inconvenience there is that in trading, these candles do not have the same sizes. So what I did, I just combined those three, which brings us to the concept of triads. It's a concept that we all know. It's like market structure low, market structure high. These are turning points, potential turning points when they are confirmed. Now we're going to use these combinations, these triads, a triad of three WL bars for entries and money management. And it makes total sense because basically what happens at these levels is that prices are at least attempting to turn. Sometimes they will succeed and sometimes they will fail. If they fail, for us, it's an opportunity, it's an entry point, and it's also a great spot to use as a stop for your money management. So I will show you this later in the platform. Now here, this is basically the key in WL bars or ATR money management. It is that when you look at a chart, you can take any chart with WL bars, you will see that these triads, actually they're very small. So if you lose small. And you know exactly how much you lose. Just give you a very quick idea of what is on the line here. It's basically if a candle is 10 points and every point is €1 or $1, well, the triad will be more or less 2.5 times more. That's it. If this is the candle of 10 and you would create a triad, this would be like the second candle and this would be the third. Now, if you add some slippage, some spread into this, we know that this value is about 2.2, 2.6 times the candle. Now, so on average, we take 2.5. So I know when every candle, for example, is worth €10, I know that the triad will be a risk of more or less 25. So it's very easy to quantify the risk. And I also think it is very, very important. Which brings us to the settings. And that, of course, is an important issue. Question is, well, these WL bars, they look wonderful and I would love to try them. They're free, by the way, in the NanoTrader platform. But how do I set them? So if I trade the Dow, or I want to trade Tesla or oil or Forex, what should be the size of the bar? How do I do this? Now, there's a lot of material in the courses, and even you will find some in YouTube, but I'll give you some idea. I'll explain you how we could do this. For example, let's say you are a Dow trader on 5 minutes. You open the chart, Dow, 5 minutes, and what you can do is you actually use the indicator ATR, average true range. You can use the standard value settings. It's 14, I think. I always use 8. It doesn't really matter. And then you will get something like this, because volatility some parts of the day is higher than others. Now, let's say you are trading the Dow in the afternoon when the volatility is very high. You will see these peaks, and you will get a value here. That value in NanoTrader is always in ticks. Most platforms will show this in points. NanoTrader, it's ticks. Now, let's just, as an example, say that the volatility is 20 points in 5 minutes. 20 ticks. So if you have 20 ticks here, you know on average that time zone how much Dow moves at that time within 5 minutes. Now, if you want to trade at the rhythm of 5 minutes, it's very simple. You will set your whale bar also at 20 ticks. If you want to go down one dimension, what you do is actually you divide this 20 by 2.5. So let's say if you want to trade on 1 minute, but look at 5 minutes. So you take the 20, do not divide by 5, but you divide by 2.5. It's some issue that's explained in coaching sessions and so on, and is also explained in my courses. But for whale bars, when you move one dimension up or down, it's a factor of 2.5. So if I, for example, want to trade at the speed of 5 minutes, but I want to look at a correctly correlated chart one dimension higher, you take this 20, and you multiply it by 2.5. So it would actually give you, if you would have 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, which are correctly correlated charts, and in the 5 minutes you would have 20 ticks. You could set this by setting 50 ticks here and setting 8 ticks here. And then you can combine these for trading, or you can combine these for trading. It is very important that you use charts not only in time frames but also in whale bars correctly. Charts which are correctly correlated. Now, another thing is the example I gave you here, 5 minutes, you can use on any instrument, on any time frame. If you have any questions here, I know in the beginning some people struggle a little bit with this, but you will see it is not difficult at all. Feel free to contact me over my website. Just drop me an email and I'll help you on this. So, which brings us to the whale bars 2.0. Now, what did we do here? What did we add? Well, normally the whale bars shift 1/3. That means it has a little bit the same characteristic as heikin-ashi candles, which you know, the open is exactly in the middle of the last candle. Here it's 1/3. It can be the bottom 1/3 or the top. It depends on the movement. So what we've done here is traders can now play around with the shift. So standard setting is 1/3, but you now have the choice to go for a shift of 1/4, 1/3, half, 2/3, and 3/4. That means that you have 5 different settings. Now, what you have to understand is, if you have a big shift, it will make the case for having fewer candles and fewer triads, so you will have more stability. If you just use a small shift, you will have more candles, more triads, but you will have more precision for entries. So basically, bottom line, what could you do, or what do we do already, is we use the small shifts for entries and we use the big shifts for stability. And I will show you on the platform and you will see exactly what I mean. It is very, it becomes a different candle, which gives you a lot more possibilities to use the candle. Now, I will use the platform to show you this. So these are the whale bars, which you will still find here just at the bottom, whale bars. And the standard setting is 1/3. So that's still around. Now, what you can do is you just move the cursor with the mouse. You go here on the dark blue band, you click right, and then you see shifts, 1/4, 1/3, half, and so on. Now, we'll just change this around so you can see this. Now here, for example, this is 1/4, and you will see that there's a lots of triads, which gives you very precise entry points and also can give you the idea whether triads are going up or down. It gives you a very clear insight into price movement. Now I'll just move this to half. This is something that many people like. Why? Because it's a very clear triad. Because in this triad, the first and the third candle are exactly at the same height, and that means that normally there's always the first or the third candle which is higher or lower. Here you don't have that, and it gives you more like an even image. I hope you can see how clear a market structure can be with these candles. Yeah, very clear to see the moves. Now I'll take it one step further. It's the shift 3/4. And here this becomes a different candle, which we use for money management. It's a lot more difficult here to get shaken out of the market because, well, there is some movement necessary before you have these candles. That means these candles are more stable. So what we very often do is we use the precision candle to spot the entries and to enter the market. Once the trade is up and running, we use this candle to manage our position. Now you can play around with this. Also, you can open different charts with different whale bars and look for combinations. But this is what we have found so far very useful. Also, there were seemingly reasonable high amount of traders who actually preferred the shift of half to 1/3. So also there, feel free to have a look and let me know what you think. Also, if you need help, feel free to contact me. Of course, these new whale bars, you can use them in all the strategies. There are over 20 impulses, scalping setups, patterns, chart formations, trend strategies, and also my tools, Super 5 tool, Vola Open Tim. It's all available now. Now you will see a lot of this material coming on my website very soon. Sorry, not only my website, but my YouTube channel. And again, I hope if you are already a whale bar trader, that this will even, give you some more ammunition in your trading. If you have any issue or question with this new product, feel free to contact me at any time. So good luck. Bye.